You see this guy right here? That's my MVP. That's the one and only Derrick Rose. And y'all already know, Team SCG, if we doing these NBA videos, we gotta go ahead and talk about the one and only Derrick Rose. I need everybody to hit that like button as we see Derrick Rose do what he used to do and still, in my opinion, can do, minus some of those dunks. You know what I'm trying to say? Like this video, it really means a lot. Yesterday's video we had about 50, almost 70 likes, dog. That is dope. Let's keep it up, man. Takes a second, everybody. Smash that like button. But let's get straight to this, everybody. Derrick Rose is one of my favorite players of all time. Him and Kobe are my two favorite NBA players of all time. And me being born and raised in Chicago, I got the privilege of seeing the MVP Derrick Rose do his thing, dog, against the entire NBA, winning his NBA MVP. And honestly, bro, even if we lost a game, even if we won a game, whatever, the main thing is we got to see Derrick Rose play in and out. Of course, we loved watching the entire team, but just watching Derrick Rose has always been just an amazing feeling. And we know that Derrick Rose had his bumps, right? I'm not going to show y'all his injuries, so we watching some of his Piston highlights over here just to show you that my man Derrick Rose still got it. You know what I'm trying to say? But, you know, we know that D-Rose had some bumps in the road. We've seen it, okay? The torn ACL, which was devastating, as he does this against Chicago, fam. Look at that right there. Woo! Payback, you know? So we've seen it. You know what I'm trying to say? We've seen these injuries, and we've seen it coming again and again and again. And I gotta give Derrick Rose props because we've seen him come back and triumph, right? When he was in Cleveland, it was really a tough time for my MVP because, you know, mental health is not a small thing. And we know D-Rose was kind of going through a lot mentally, dog. And then he got traded to Utah for a game. And then, of course, Minnesota picked him up. And we saw what he started to do. The 50-point game was just unimaginable. It was just his career high. And Derrick Rose, people don't realize he averaged 18 points a game in Minnesota. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, gotta give a huge shout out to Tibbs, man, for believing in D-Rose when he was with Minnesota at the time. And Derrick Rose, solid 18 points a game. Really, really epic. He got some huge games for Minnesota. And he kind of showed the league, like, yo, fam, I still got game. I still got game. You know what I'm trying to say? Derrick Rose played 51 games with the Minnesota Timberwolves 2 seasons ago, averaged 18 points a game, about 27 minutes a game. Right, the season after, we know he got a solid deal, I believe a 2-year deal with the Detroit Pistons. And of course, a lot of us were like, yo, he needs to go to the Bulls. Maybe I said that. But, you know, he went, you know, we wanted him to go to contending teams, but you know, Detroit offered him some money, more than he got in a while. So he signed with Detroit, and he did not disappoint. Like, look at these highlights, dog. Like, this dude clearly got games still. At age 31, Derrick Rose played 50 games, you know, and just keep into account that there was, you know, a lossage of some games because of the season. So 50 games, he started 15 of them. He actually played less minutes this season, too, than the prior, 26 a game. And my man still averaged 18, and to be specific, 18.1. So my MVP actually averaged more points than he did in Minnesota, averaging 18 points a game, which is pretty solid, fam, because he only played 26 minutes a game. Almost 50% from the field goal percentage. He shot 49. You know what I'm trying to say? Averaged a solid almost 6 assists a game. Yo, coming off the bench. Like, that is insane. Like, this dude still got it in the tank. Yo, he may not be slamming it down like we used to, and he says himself that, like, he's not trying to do that. His game is more than just his athleticism, and he's proving that, yo, he still got that first step. He still got that swiftness. He still got that ability to create. And, yo, let's just be real. If you're watching highlights this past season, man, he still got that clutch genes, dog. Yo, just type in Derrick Rose game winners, dog. You'll see a whole bunch of them, of course, from Chicago, but you'll see a bunch of them from this past season. He came in the clutch. You know what I'm trying to say? He still got those little reverse layups. You seen that? So, the future of Derrick Rose is definitely something that I think about all the time. You know what I'm trying to say? Because, you know, just to see his comeback, it was surreal. And to see what he had to go through was surreal. And to see him now flourishing kind of back in the league, you know, 18 points a game is not a joke. It's tough as a Bulls fan, you know, maybe not as a Detroit fan, but I'm being real with y'all. it's tough as a Bulls fan to see him in these years because we don't know how many years he has left, right? We don't know how, clutch, see that? We don't know how many years he has left. And to see him use these, you know, not prime years, but still really productive years, it's a little bit tough, right? On a team like Detroit. And I'm not hating on Detroit, dog. I'm not hating on Detroit at all. But I'm just trying to say, it's just not the team. You know, I'm just being real with y'all. Like, you want to see someone like Derrick Rose on a contending team. As look at that game winner, man. Don't mess with me. That's my MVP. You want to see a player like Derrick Rose on a contending team. And I'm just being real with y'all. So when we talk about the future of Derrick Rose, it really actually starts this season. Because Derrick Rose could still very well be traded, you know, mid-season. I believe they made the trade deadline sometime in the first quarter of 2021, March or April. So there is a lot of time for Derrick Rose still to be traded. But in my honest opinion, I do see Derrick Rose being traded this upcoming season, potentially by the trade deadline. Now, don't get me wrong. If Detroit really starts getting a hang of things, right? I know D. Rose is mentoring Killian Hayes and Blake Griffin starts playing like an all-star, etc. You know, there's a chance. But I do know for sure that his contract is ending soon, right? And it's not like he's getting paid a lot of money. And there may be some contending teams who are willing to give, you know, some young assets to acquire Derrick Rose for a playoff push. You know, teams such as the Los Angeles Lakers. How many names did we hear associated earlier, you know, in the year with Derrick Rose getting potentially traded for Kyle Kuzma, right? Now you got THC potentially in the mix, right? So which I don't think they're going to do. But I'm just trying to say, like, we've heard oftentimes, yo, Kyle Kuzma for Derrick Rose for a huge push in the playoffs for the Lakers. So I could totally see a team that may lose a point guard if an injury happens, or a team that just needs that veteranship and an additional offensive load that they need coming into the playoffs, which Derrick Rose, as y'all can see, can still provide. I could see that happening this season, right? But let's just say he doesn't get traded this upcoming season, right? He plays throughout. He's going to average around the same, you know, a solid 17, 18 points a game coming off the bench, mentoring Killian Hayes. You know, he'll probably close the game out most of the times unless Killian really starts blowing up or they play alongside. But nonetheless, you know, Derrick Rose is going to get his. And I honestly believe, bro, at the end of his season, if he does not get traded, or even if he does get traded, right, he's going to definitely sign with a contender. You know, because he's 32 right now. He'll be 33 next October, I believe. So he got time. But you know what I'm saying? I totally think it's time for my man MVP Derrick Rose to try to pursue a championship now. You know, we see what happened with Dwight Howard. Got to give him respect. He got his ring. And I think Derrick Rose can contribute a lot to a potential contending team. So some of the teams, you know, there's so many, you know, contending teams out there. You know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, the Lakers, I could still totally see it. I rock with my man Schroeder, but they still need that point guard. And as much as it hurts me, you know, because I'm just being real. I was rooting for LeBron James over the Clippers. You know, when it comes down to those two teams, the Clippers low-key could use a nice point guard. Like Patrick Beverley, he's a good dude, but fam, Derrick Rose, he's an upgrade. So there clearly are teams that need that point guard position filled, especially contending teams in the NBA. So I could totally see Derrick Rose signing with one of those if he does not get traded this season. So we've been talking a lot, right? This was a little bit of a longer video, but I really just had to kind of vent out and just share not only my experiences with the one and only MVP Derrick Rose, but at the same time just talk a little bit about him and his potential future. Like, Blake Griffin's a beast, don't get me wrong, you see that right there, he's a beast, but you know, how far can this duo go? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, how far can they go? Derrick Rose is not just somebody that, you know, Chicago Bulls fans admire and revere. He's somebody that the whole NBA respects, because he's the definition and the epitome of triumph and overcoming adversity. And they're going to be documentaries of this dude, because, yo, when you tear your ACL and your MCL and everything else he tore and come back and still have a career high game winners, average over 18 points a game, with something that critics said as Derrick Rose only was known for his athleticism, he's like, yo, I'm coming back, and he did. Yo, there are going to be a lot of cool documentaries about my dude Derrick Rose. I respect my man. I rock with D Rose. And I want him to have a championship when it's all said and done. And I think that's kind of the direction he needs to start pivoting to when it comes down to free agency and potentially even trades that may, inquire him. So everybody in the comments down below, we talked a lot about the one and only D Rose. I want to hear from y'all. What does the future of Derrick Rose look like? Like, do you think he's just gonna, stick with Detroit? Maybe he goes back to Chicago. They're young and growing, and I love it. I love it. That would make my dream come true, man. Derrick Rose coming back, finishing his career with Chicago. He loves Chicago. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I really, really want to hear y'all thoughts in the comments down below. Is he gonna go to a contender? Is he gonna sign with the Bulls? Is he gonna stick with Detroit? What's gonna happen? How is he gonna continue to play? Is he gonna tank this season? Is he gonna explode this season? I gotta hear from y'all. Love y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Keep it real, everybody. A thumbs up means more than y'all know. And I'll see y'all soon, man. Peace.